Number 10. Hidden Sirenhead. So this one is a reported sighting of a Sirenhead in a video. Now, of course, this all depends on how much stock you want to put into these reported sightings. I initially didn't think this video was particularly scary until I watched it a few times and realized that the Sirenhead can only be spotted in the very background. So this is one of those scary videos that if you manage to spot Sirenhead without really looking for him, it creates one of those "what was that" moments. Though, of course, if you slow it down, this one does look pretty fake, which takes away from the whole scare factor. Obviously, the more real something feels, the scarier it is. The sound in this video, though, the idea of Sirenhead mimicking children, is what really adds to its spooky factor. Number 9. Hide and seek. This is the part 1 to an encounter that we'll come back to later in this list. This found footage style video has the witness investigating an emergency service announcement that seems to have been playing outside their home. They leave their home, wandering towards the sound, only to find Sirenhead standing between the trees atop a hill. This sighting is frightening just because it almost looks like, at first glance, like Sirenhead themselves is just an odd shaped tree. And later it seems the sound Sirenhead makes interferes with the recording device, which is an interesting bit of information. If this were to be true, it would be almost impossible to catch this creature on film in real life. The video also shows the character recording it while the person taking the video is hiding from the Sirenhead in what appears to be a cemetery. And as the Sirenhead wanders past their hiding spot, we get a surprisingly good close-up look at the Sirenhead's disturbing, spindly body before the video ends. Number 8. Wildlife camera. This video claims to be real-life footage from a stationary wildlife camera. It shows a Sirenhead just barely walking by in the distance. You can barely make it out through thick fog. Do you see it? The thin figure could almost be passed off for a rolling of the fog itself, as its thin frame barely appears in the video. But about halfway through passing the camera, you can see what is unmistakably speakers in the place of a head near the top of the creature. And as it passes, you can hear that familiar wailing of its sirens, which many have likened to the sound of a Chicago tornado siren. In fact, if you listen to footage containing these emergency sirens, the two sound almost identical. So, is this an edited video with the siren sound and figure added in, or actual real-life footage? What do you think?
Fake news.
Number 7. Fallout 4 mod. The encounter you can have in the Whispering Hills fan-made mod created by Manga Club in Fallout 4 is pretty frightening because of how big of an enemy this Sirenhead is in relation to other large foes that you face in Fallout. That and Sirenhead usually only appears amidst fog, which this mod also adds to the game. The bigger an enemy is in Fallout, usually the bigger a punch they pack, and Sirenhead is no exception. If Sirenhead gets near enough to you, there is a chance that it will kill you with one hit. Which, if this happens, it will definitely get your adrenaline pumping the next time you spot a Sirenhead in the game. Number 6. The Poles of 84. This video appears to be found footage of some windmills from Wednesday, March 14th, 1984, according to its timestamp. The video shows a dirt road or trail ahead amidst what appears to be a flat landscape. As it pans right, we see windmills in the distance, except that one appears to be different from the rest, and not a windmill at all. Instead, it appears to be a pole with 3 speakers coming out of the top of it. The pole begins to spin as the footage seems to white out. It's unclear why the footage ends this way, though. It could be another nod to Sirenhead's sounds affecting recording equipment, or altering footage. You can hear footsteps at the top of the video, followed by the low whine of a horn or siren as the camera pans and zooms in on the pole. Number 5. Searching for Sirenhead. It's definitely Sirenhead, or it might be a wolf. YouTuber Team DX Army decided to share a live stream of them going out into the woods in Tanyard Creek State Park in Arkansas, where apparently there was a reported sighting by someone who was attacked by a large creature that could mimic voices in the 1990s. Venturing out in the woods themselves, they ended up trudging through a bunch of thorns and heard the sound of a droning siren, or perhaps a wolf. It's hard to hear. And then they found what appeared to be a statue of Sirenhead, or some kind of Sirenhead in stasis, perhaps. As they leave the woods, it sounds like the creature may be pursuing them, and then they hear something mimicking one of their friends' voices. They end up leaving the woods when dust is being stirred up and they hear the sound of something running past them, and then a siren blaring.
Dude, what is that? Whoa! Whoa! Ah!
Number 4, Trapped by Sirenheads. This game starts with you trapped by Sirenheads, who appear to be bookending either side of the trail that you are on. Their distance and constant wailing, sheer size, and the darkness of this game all lend to making this encounter more creepy and terrifying. If you get too close to them, they also will definitely kill you. Definitely. Of course, all you have to do is get around them to avoid death, but until you figure that out, their presence is pretty terrifying. You also can't really see them in this very dark, fog-covered forest until it's too late, which also makes it a little harder to avoid them. Number 3, Modus Interactive. In the Modus Interactive PS1 style game, the appearance of Sirenhead is oddly enough one of the most startling, despite the fact that these are older graphics. Older graphics aside, this game proves just how little you need good graphics to ensure a good scare in a video game. The reason why this Sirenhead encounter is one of the most scary is because of the suspense leading up to its appearance. The reveal of Sirenhead silently somehow kind of appearing behind you, despite his size, is another thing that adds to the terror of this encounter. Add this to the fear that you feel while sprinting around Sirenhead and away from it as it chases you, emitting a droning siren and then horrific sounds of the murder it likely committed while in pursuit of you, and you have an in-game experience that may even keep you up at night. Number 2, Government-Controlled Area. This is the part 2 of the video I referred to in the point hide and seek. This found footage style online video takes us on a journey through the person shooting it to a government-controlled area. Using this handheld camera, this person explores the area, unsurprisingly coming across the strange Sirenhead creature. The scariest part happens at the end when the person successfully retreats indoors. Honestly, it's always when you least expect a scare that they become just so much more effective. Watch yourself the video to find out what I'm talking about with this short. Also, how does everyone still manage in found footage to have the worst possible quality handheld camera? It makes the video more scary for sure because you can't really tell what's going on, but it's 2020. My phone's front-facing camera has more pixels than all of these cameras put together. I'm literally filming on my phone right now. Why would I use a handheld? Why would I run around with a handheld VHS tape camera? Number 1, Run and Shoot. In this short game featuring Sirenhead, you are at least given a rifle to defend yourself against it. And yet, this still likely won't bring you much comfort when Sirenhead finally appears. The other thing that makes the creature's appearance terrifying in this game is the various sounds that it makes. It draws you in with a broadcast reporting your missing friends' deaths, and makes low, animalistic, and guttural noises in addition to its typical siren-like wail. However, just because it is great at making noise doesn't mean that it always will. It can even sneak up on you relatively quietly with only its footsteps being heard as an indication as to where it might be coming from. And you need to keep an eye out as the creature is shrouded in fog. When it does appear, you have only a brief moment to shoot it, as its dark silhouette appears against the white, foggy surroundings, before it will surely kill you. Also, what's up with all the fog with Sirenhead? Does Sirenhead bring the fog? Does it only exist in foggy environments? Number 10, Sounds in the Dark. In this game, known as Sirenhead 1995, the most terrifying thing is just how dark it is. Even if you turn the brightness on your computer all the way up, you'll be lucky if you can see a thing. In this game, you are in the woods alone at night looking for someone named Chad. I mean, if you're friends with someone named Chad in a horror game, I feel like your fate has been sealed. You def gonna die. The scariest thing about this encounter is the sound effects, which allow you to hear the oncoming Sirenhead and also maybe hear Chad being murdered, though depending on how you felt about Chad, I guess that could be considered a good or a bad thing. I guess it really depends on why we were looking for Chad in the first place. Number 9, Minecraft mod. YouTuber MC Naveed ended up encountering Sirenhead bosses in his house-modded game of Minecraft. He hears the warning call of the Sirenhead, and unlike what you would expect in most Sirenhead encounters, decides to go towards it. Do not go towards it, run away from it. It seems that 2 giant Sirenheads have been spawning tons of minions and slime, which he encounters along the way. Eventually he comes face to face with the Minecraft Sirenheads, only to be defeated in one hit. And could you imagine seeing these versions of Sirenhead, or likely not being able to see them, in a game of Minecraft at night? They are terrifying looking. Number 8, Murder Camp. In this game, you're one of the people sent to rescue campers who have reportedly gone missing in the woods. One of the scariest things about this encounter is it looks like the camp you're investigating is some kind of nuclear waste disposal site encased in a maze. What kind of camp is that? It sounds awful. Does not look like a fun camp to me, but okay. You can see a counter for your teammates in the top left corner as you explore the camp/murder maze, but it will go down as the other people on your team also sound like they're being horribly murdered. When Sirenhead does show up, they float ominously towards you, and the gun you are armed with seems to have no effect on them. They also look like they are wafer thin as they float in between the trees. Number 7, On a Date. That's right, this encounter involves you running into Sirenhead randomly on a walk by a train track near the woods. It happens in a dating simulator game, so of course, what option do you have but to try and date Sirenhead to avoid being killed by it? So romantic. Who doesn't love dating to avoid death? Any incorrect response you give to Sirenhead during your social interactions will result in your certain death via having your head explode. One of the most gruesome ways that it's been explained that Sirenhead can kill you when compared to other games. So even though we don't see it, it's still pretty terrifying. Leave it to a weird Sirenhead dating simulator to somehow have the most gruesomely described death. Number 6, Gary's mod. This Sirenhead encounter comes to us from a Sirenhead mod attached to the sandbox game Gary's Mod. This version of Sirenhead is huge and actually appears to be one of the closest in terms of the actual character design. Looks the most like the character design to me anyways. Sirenhead here is long and spindly, appearing to be half as tall as an apartment building. It has long, thin fingers, which it will use to try and grab you. While being tall grants it increased speed, being even faster than your sprint speed in the game, it also can be a hindrance for this version of Sirenhead when it comes to chasing you, as there are certain areas that it will struggle to access due to its enormous size. So, kind of more obstacles for it as well. Increased speed, more obstacles. Still pretty scary. Number 5, Sirenhead in Roblox. In the multiplayer Roblox game Bacon, there are 2 teams. One player plays as a killer, trying to hunt down their friends and kill them, or just possibly delay them before they can complete the game level's objective and continue on. Each attempt is timed, and the players on the survivor team are trying to complete the objective and avoid getting killed. You can choose from a variety of different skins that you want to wear as the killer, and in this game, one of those skins that you can unlock and wear is that of our very own Sirenhead. Yep, Sirenhead has even made their way into Roblox. It's crazy. And in the game, Bacon, you can play as or defend against a muscly, knife-wielding version of this creature. Yikes. Number 4, really loud noises.
Loud noises!
The most frightening thing about this encounter is how loud it is. I mean, I knew Sirenhead was loud, but geez, turn the volume down if you encounter a Sirenhead in this game, or it might actually burst your eardrums, not just in the game, but in real life too. In this game, you encounter more than one, let's call them mini Sirenheads, while investigating / really just exploring some kind of facility. The other thing that adds to the scare factor of this encounter is how dark every room you explore is, making it often too hard for you to see your enemy Sirenhead until it's just much too late. Just because these Sirenheads are smaller in stature doesn't mean they won't leave you trembling with fear either, especially if you run into a dead end and see them barreling towards you. You're like, I have nowhere to go, this is it. Can't fight them, so you just die. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto 5 mod. That's right, Sirenhead may have started in Fallout 4, but this creature has also made its way to Grand Theft Auto. This mod allows you to bring the horror that is Sirenhead to Los Santos. When Sirenhead makes its appearance, it will be accompanied by a light fog and the blaring of its tornado siren call. In this game, it is an aggressive creature that will attack you and likely will also kill you. And despite how loud it is, it appears to be able to also sneak up on you pretty well and can even affect the radio broadcast in your car, turning it to static. Also, this version of Sirenhead is fast, very fast, like can run with your car. Fast. Number 2, Sirenhead Retribution. This game is actually fairly well built for those looking for a pretty fun, playable Sirenhead horror game. And then by fun, of course, I mean scary. Scary can be fun. In this game, the Sirenhead you encounter appears to be pretty smart, which only adds to how terrifying it is, trashing your van so you can't escape it. You wily Sirenhead, you. Your objective quickly becomes to get the heck out of there, as obviously you do not want to meet whatever it is that managed to put your van up in a tree. That's terrifying. Seems pretty wise as well. I would also want to get out of there. This game also lulls you into a false sense of security, making you feel like you might have escaped Sirenhead when perhaps you haven't. And there are multiple endings that you can unlock. The other thing that is great about this encounter is all the lore that is built up around the creature of Sirenhead in the game, about it potentially killing kids years before, and lots of other behavioral information on it. When it does pop up as well, it almost sounds like it's all around you. It's really hard to figure out where the sounds are actually coming from, so it can quickly just pop up and attack you. Like that. Number 1, full-length Sirenhead game. There have been talks of turning Modus Interactive's game or another indie Sirenhead game into a full-length version. Trevor Henderson, creator of Sirenhead himself, has even revealed that he is thinking of pitching the idea of a full-length game featuring the creature to game developers and possibly working with someone to help create a longer, more professional game featuring Sirenhead. The times being as tumultuous as they are means we might have to wait a while before this project will come to fruition. But I'm sure whatever Henderson has in store for the character will be as creepy and disturbing as everyone expects and hopes. I personally would love to see a game where you are trapped in the wilderness, uncover the lore of Sirenhead, and are forced to stop it from maybe harming friends who you've become separated from, or just perhaps escape it, as so many other indie games have already done. But I do think the key to making this game a successful horror game would be in the atmosphere and objectives.